5 things I do not need as a minimalist. I'm saying I don't need these things. Earlier, TK, you were talking about toasters.
Yeah.
I don't use a toaster. I haven't used a toaster in so many years. Although my wife owns one. I couldn't even tell you. I mean, we hide it away. We don't put it on the counter. But if she makes sourdough bread, so she does use it. My wife's a minimalist. I'm a minimalist. We own different things. I don't ever need a toaster. I don't ever want a toaster. They're so crummy.
Oh, don't tweet that podcast, Sean.
Yep.
And right next to where my toaster isn't is where my microwave isn't. Mm-hmm. That's the next object that I don't own as a minimalist. I've realized that when I would live places and it came with a microwave, I would use it maybe once a year. I remember once I moved into a home in Missoula, and I didn't realize for over a year that we had a microwave in the home.
We're like, wait, we have a microwave?
Colin was using it one day. Like,
right.
Wait a minute.
Where did you get that?
And it's so funny. Like, as soon as you develop that pattern, then you might start using the thing. But the pattern I developed was, I don't need to use this thing. I can do things more slowly. And so I get by without a microwave. Here's another thing. This reminds me of a Fight Club. Remember the scene where the narrator is talking to Tyler Durden on the airplane? Mm-hmm. And Tyler Durden says, "What's a duvet cover?" Mm-hmm. He's like, "Why do you know what a duvet cover is?" Mm-hmm. Right? He's like, "It's just a blanket." And yet we have duvet covers, right? I haven't owned a duvet cover in years. The reason I don't is because I hate the way that they are shaped on the bed. And so I simply don't have a duvet cover.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a blanket cover. It's a pillowcase for your blanket, essentially, or for your comforter.
Oh, okay.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
That's my response as well.
Yeah.
Do they criticize you for this?
Oh, my stars.
I'm done.
I will say it's much easier. I don't own a duvet cover, but it's much easier to clean it rather than taking the whole bulky blanket and shoving it in there.
Yeah, I wash my comforter when I need to wash it, and that's worked out really fine for me.
Oh, yeah. You know what's okay? So I actually do use a duvet cover. So we had a fluffy cover. Whatever, a fluffy duvet, I guess. And then Mariah put something on it, like, so that way we didn't get the actual cover dirty.
The comforter.
Comforter, thank you. And long story short, the comforter was way too hot for me. So I took the comforter out, and now I use only the duvet cover.
Wow.
Amazing.
Mainly because I didn't want to buy another blanket. I'm like, this thing will actually probably work. And it does. And that's what I use now.
Just when I was getting ready to take away your minimalist certificate, now I have to give it back to him. I've renewed your license, Ryan.
Thanks, God.
You are now Thanks, God.
Thanks, God. Thanks, God.
By the way, you brought up Brad Pitt or Fight Club. You're on your way to becoming Brad Pitt's character in The Big Short. Like, you're already 75% there.
Well, yeah.
Explain why.
Well, I mean, he's out in the boondocks, right? Like, just deliberately just away. No Wi-Fi, right?
No TV.
No TV. When the guys who are like really ambitious and talented and financially literate come to him for tips on how to make money, he's kind of like, you know what? I'm going to help you guys, but I promise you, it's not going to make you as happy as you think. So his like heart is too generous, so he has to help, but he's kind of like annoyed that these guys think having more money is going to help them. You're totally becoming.
You know what
this
I
guy.
respect about Josh is once Josh latches onto something, he will like take it as far as he can, and I really admire that about Josh. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you give up next.
Well, the next 2 things. I was thinking about chewing. Chewing seems so...
I'm just going to do steak smoothies from now on. No, I'm just going to slurp. No chewing.
I'm going to have Bex chew for me like a little baby bird. All right, 2 other things. I don't have a TV at home, and I don't have a Wi-Fi router because I don't have internet at home. Now, those are things that might change because I know Bex is like, I'm getting tired of not having internet at home. And so the solution that I talked about in Love People Use Things is if you want, I had someone ask this question the other day, hey, I want to go without internet at home, but my partner really wants it. What do? Well, you can ask them to hide the Wi-Fi router password. And therefore they have the password. You don't. You functionally don't have internet. The other person in the house does. Crisis averted. Same thing with TV. Like, I'm not against TV. I don't think it's wrong or evil. I simply don't have a TV. I haven't had one for a long time. I haven't owned one in a very, very long time. The last apartment I lived in had one. last thing for me, a wristwatch.
I love watches. I just hate them on my wrist.
This is the
I don't know
one
if
day
love
I
them,
wear a watch.
But I really like every time Jordan posts something about a watch, I'm like, that's a really beautiful, like mechanical, like really awesome piece of machinery. I hate things touching my wrist though. Anyway.
I love wristwatches. And
Oh, except for your hand, John.
Jordan and I are big wristwatch fans.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I appreciate Jordan's obsession with
Yes.
wristwatches because what
Yeah.
you were talking about
And that's
earlier.
a nice watch too, man.
Thank you, brother. I
Yeah.
appreciate
Yeah,
it.
it really is.
Thank
I
you,
mean
my
that from the bottom of my heart.
And when I dive deep into something, I tend to get obsessed about something. That's what I really appreciate about Jordan. I'm not obsessed about watches in a way. So it used to be that I would buy expensive watches. Why? Because look who I am.
That's right. Look at my tag.
Yeah,
Am I saying that right?
I think so.
Tag Howard.
So this is my one. I had two because Jordan gave me a gift welcoming me here. Really beautiful watch. But I was showing it to my dad and telling him the story about it, and he really loved it. And I was like, "You want it, Pop?" He was like, "Yeah." So I gave it to my Pop.
That's great.
So I'm back down to one.
That's nice, man.
Yeah.
Here's
Yeah.
a bonus one for you. Sunglasses. I no longer wear sunglasses.
He loves glaucoma. Am I saying that right? Glaucoma?
No.
No, it's glaucoma. I'm kidding.
You can watch the video that we did about it on YouTube, how sunglasses are now obsolete. You can check that out.
I've
on
never been
YouTube.
into them, but you were obviously into them. Why'd you get rid of it?
Because I realized that it messed up my circadian rhythm,
Gotcha.
which was harming my sleep personally.
Gotcha.
Individual results may vary. Did you enjoy this standalone Patreon highlight? If so, you can listen to full episodes of the Minimalist Private Podcast, available exclusively on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/theminimalists or click the link in the description. Your support keeps our podcast and YouTube channel 100% advertisement free.